she wants to say hi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm doing my weekly reading wrap up this week. The first book I finished was Alcatraz, number 1259, William Baker. As I said in my previous video, it's just a very raw memoir that wasn't like super edited or refined, and in a way like I love it, and also in a way I was kind of like, okay, I'm ready for this to end. And so like, I kind of like loved it for being that. I wish it was a little shorter because there was a lot of repetition, and it was just kind of like not very linear, which is fine, but it was just sometimes like I would be in a chapter and realize like he was talking about a different prison experience that wasn't Alcatraz, and that's all fine. There was a lot about his home life before he got there, which is all well and good. I just kind of would have liked that background in the beginning, and then when we got to Alcatraz just had it be a little more linear. But you know, it was like, I liked it for what it was. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It was definitely super interesting and cool to read more about all of that stuff. But there was like, towards the end, I was just kind of like ready to wrap it up, unfortunately. Just because, you know, it is what it is, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And I've been reading 2 books right now, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I'm not super far into it, but, hey, what are you doing? Hey, boo boo. I'm not super far into it, but, it's a lot about mindset, like people who are kind of, assuming that they're not gonna have a lot of money and not be well off. They have that mindset, and that's why they like go down. And then the people who are kind of very focused on their goal, they like get to it with the power of thought. So it's kind of like the book The Secret in that way. I will say this book was written in like the 30s, and in the introduction alone there were so many racial slurs that I was kind of like, is there like no way to like edit this and like make it not so offensive? Like, I mean, I guess in the 30s that wasn't a big deal, but when I'm reading it now, I'm just like, what is happening? Like, it was just really weird. So just like getting me on that was a bit of a challenge, but so far, like once we've gotten into the meat of the book, it hasn't been quite that bad. So that's probably my biggest complaint, but then again, it is a book written very long ago, so it's way too soon to rate it, but yeah. The next book is, I started this today actually. It's According to a Source, Abby Stern. And this book is just about this like Hollywood PI who kind of like, not PI really, but she's like an undercover reporter for like a gossip mag basically. So she goes to different clubs and different like places where all like the elite go, and just kind of like watches and reports. She's like a gossip magazine. And it's like, I guess the girl who wrote it like did this, so it's kind of fun when you're reading it to kind of like try to figure out who you think that person is in real life, or who it could be in real life, and because it's all like at real Hollywood spots. But I like, in the very first chapter, I'm not very far in, so I might be like really off base and it's not enough to deter me, but in the very first chapter she's like, has like a waitress come up to her, and she like says things like, oh, in her unstylish side braid with hairs falling out, and she's Miss Pollyanna over here, and she's basically like criticizing this young waitress for not being like stylish or whatever, and looking like she's fresh off the bus. And I was like, oh, this is our protagonist. I don't like her so far. Like, she's just being really judgmental of someone just trying to do their job, and I know as a waitress you do not look your best a lot of the time. So that was kind of weird, and it was like right within the first few pages where I was a little bit turned off, but I might be just like hypersensitive to restaurant stuff in general, so I don't know. It was just like, we'll see what happens. I mean, she hasn't done anything super likable or unlikable at this point, but yeah, we'll see. So that's it. I'm going to continue with those books throughout this week and hopefully get to another one. And let me know in the comments what you guys are reading this month. And if you haven't already, please subscribe below and hit the notification bell. Alright, bye!